In 1318, many people believed that the Earth was flat. Today, some people on Twitter still believe that the Earth is flat. But also, we can see pictures of our planet from space, as well as every other planet in our solar system, and even many outside of it. In ancient Babylon, astronomers studied the comets that they saw in the night sky. In 2014, the European Space Agency landed a spacecraft on a comet moving at 135,000 miles per hour. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors may have wondered if there was anything beyond what they could see in the night sky. Today, the Hubble Space Telescope can show us galaxies up to 13 billion light years away. Humans have been looking up at the stars for as long as we've existed, but it was only a short while ago that space travel went from a dream to a possibility to a reality. On October 4th, 1957, 10 years into the Cold War, when tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union were the highest they've ever been, the Soviet Union launched the first successful man-made satellite, called Sputnik. Sputnik itself wasn't much. It was an aluminum sphere about the size of a beach ball with 4 long antennas sticking out of it. But to Americans, its implications were terrifying. For years, the United States and the Soviet Union had been competing in the development of nuclear weapons, and Sputnik was proof that the Soviet Union's technology was superior to the United States. Many worried that this could lead to advances in Soviet technology and weaponry that the United States would have no way to compete with or protect itself against. People across the nation tuned in to listen to a simple radio signal about Sputnik transmitted over and over again, and many even claimed to have seen its faint outline in the sky during its 3-day orbit. Even as many sensed that some kind of change was coming, the space race and the beginning of a new era of technology began with Sputnik. Even as the United States government tried to downplay Sputnik's importance, they knew they had to respond somehow. On July 29, 1958, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, was established and became the home of the United States Space Program. On April 12, 1961, the Soviet Union launched the first manned spacecraft. Yuri Gagarin became the first man in space and returned as a celebrity and a national hero in the Soviet Union. The United States knew that it was falling behind. The Soviet Union had already sent the first satellite, dog, man, and woman into space. And at this point, the space race had become an issue of national pride. On April 12, 1961, President John F. Kennedy delivered one of his most famous speeches, in which he set an extremely ambitious goal for the United States, to send a man to the moon by the end of the decade. During the 1960s, space travel became the new big thing. Shows like Star Trek and Lost in Space showed astronauts as brave adventurers exploring strange new worlds. And comics like Arthur Radcliffe's Closer Than We Think imagine a future where space travel was just another part of everyday life. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first man to walk on the moon. Apollo 11, the first of 6 missions to the moon, was a success. Gradually, the excitement of the space race began to slow down, but people were still excited about the future of space travel. And then, on January 28, 1986, the Challenger space shuttle exploded, killing all 7 crew members on board. The tragedy left a huge impact on the United States. Disasters like this had happened before. All of the astronauts in Apollo 1 had died in a fire during the test launch almost 20 years earlier. The Challenger was different. On board was Krista McCullough, the first teacher in space, who had been chosen from thousands to broadcast a lesson from aboard the shuttle. The event was heavily publicized and promoted, and on the day of the launch, millions of people, many of whom were excited children, tuned in to watch. As they saw Challenger get torn apart in the sky, many dreams of ordinary people going to space faded, and many wondered if space travel was really worth the cost of human lives. But still, we've pushed on and made some of the biggest advancements in human history. Coming back to the present, there are a lot of perspectives to consider in space travel today. A huge aspect more than now is money. For a few years now, NASA has been outsourcing to private companies like SpaceX, and space tourism is already a reality, with some companies charging millions of dollars to send people to space. There have been land scams on the moon, and countries and scientists are trying to figure out how real estate could work on Mars. And just last year, in 2017, SpaceX launched a Tesla car into space as marketing stunt. Another focus is preserving mankind. Many people believe that humans will need a new home, especially with threats like climate change becoming more and more present. But there are a few problems with this view. Space travel can't be seen as a free ticket to destroy Earth and move on to a different planet, both practically and ethically. We still have the responsibility of preserving the planet we live on, regardless of how many habitable worlds we may find. Most of all, space travel is about scientific discoveries. Exploration has always been about testing the limits of human innovation and technology, and space travel is no different. Some of our most useful innovations today have come from space exploration research. Efficient solar cells were first designed for spacecraft, and technology developed with the Hubble Space Telescope has been useful in breast cancer studies. Even something as simple as freeze-dried fruit came from a need to transport food to space with as little weight as possible. We have come so far, but we have a lot farther to go. Every single speck of light in this picture is a galaxy full of millions of stars. We have a lot left to learn. And really, that's why we go to space, because we're excited about the possibilities, about what could be out there. Most of all, we go to space because it is there and because we can. Thank you.